Today we're going to show you how to change the door hinge on your Range, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Let me show you how we do it. Now, to do this repair, we will need to remove the oven door from the Range. So we're simply going to open it to about the broil position. Then we're going to lift up and pull back at the bottom of those hinges. And just kind of rotate that hinge right out of the oven body. And then we can take the door and set it on a suitable work surface and do our repair. Now, to disassemble the door, we're going to begin by removing the 2 screws on either side on the outer edge at the bottom. Now, that will allow us to remove the side trim pieces. Now next we'll remove these 2 screws closer to the center on the bottom. And that will allow us to remove the bottom trim. And we can set that aside. And we can carefully lift that door up while holding the outer door glass against the frame. And then we'll just lay that door on its back. And we can slide that outer door glass away and set it aside. Now next we're going to remove the 2 screws that were below that outer door glass, and they secure that top trim piece in place. So remove those and then lift the top trim, slide it up and lift it away. And next we'll remove 1 screw at the very top that holds that spacer in place. And the clip for that top trim, and then a single screw at the bottom. And now we can lift that hinge up from the bottom side and unhook the little tab at the front from the slotted opening on that inner door panel, and we'll discard the old hinge. Now, when installing the new hinge, we'll start by hooking that top tab into that slotted opening, lower the hinge down into the opening at the bottom, and we'll install the single screw on the bottom edge. Next we'll reinstall that clip for the top trim piece, and that clip has a little tab on the bottom of it that will fit into a rectangular slot on the top of that hinge. Just set that into position and put that spacer block on top of it. Put the screw down through it to secure both of those. And now we can put the top trim back on. Now slide that on and make sure that the lip on the top of that trim goes out over the inner door panel, and pull it fully down into position, and the screw holes should line up. And reinstall those 2 screws. Now we can next reinstall the outer door glass, and just slide that up under those 2 tabs at the top to make sure that hooks that in place. This is also a good opportunity for you to clean that bottom of that glass, because typically they will have collected a little bit of food debris over the years. So just take a razor knife, clean all of that off, and then take some glass cleaner and finish it up. We'll next install that bottom trim, so slide that over the edge of that glass. Now with that trim in place, we'll just install those 2 screws that secure it to that inner door panel, and then we can put our side trim pieces back on. So we'll start by inserting that little offset at the top in behind the top trim piece, rotate it underneath the glass, and then line it up at the back, and do the same on the opposite side. And again, we'll tuck that offset in underneath the top trim, rotate it in underneath the glass, line up the screw holes, and once we have all of those screws securely tightened, we can then put the complete door back on the Range. Now, when reinstalling the door, I suggest that you push these hinges into the broil position first, and simply just push them until they lock in that broil position. Now with the hinges locked down, we're just going to slide those into that slotted openings. And keep the door as upright as possible until we have it all the way back. And you'll feel them drop down into position. Just check the gap at the top, make sure that it's equal and that the door opens and closes easily. And our repair is complete.